morning, my friends. I just made myself a coffee. Where did I put it? Red honey, Costa Rican. Just roasted it. Oh, it's very nice. And I wanted to show you. I'm going back into the jungles. I read a little bit more about the pine pollen cones that I harvested earlier in a video or two, and I feel that well, it's my only chance right now until next year. So I was gonna leave it, but then when I read how valuable what I make from this and how much I gather, I think it would be a really good part of Raven's healing program. Is what was going on in my head. And so yesterday when I was walking my dogs, just kind of keeping my eyes and ears open, trees must have spoken to me because, as I mentioned with my other one, well, not all the pine trees have these little cones. In fact, a lot of them don't for whatever reason. And the one that I had found just happened to be right in the middle of our little yard here. So I thought that was kind of an interesting coincidence, if you believe in coincidences. And then when I'm walking my dogs yesterday, I find another tree that's just laden with them, bigger than ever. And it's right at the entrance to our little laneway that we have down the road here. So if that's not a message, I don't know what is. So along with my research, definitely a lot of anti-radiation value in the pollen or the tincture made from the pollen or from the pollen cones. All kind of seems to be the same thing. That's what I was trying to figure out the other day, was me collecting the pollen cones, did it have the same value as the pollen? And then the tincture, are there things different in the pine tree pollen or pine tree pollen tincture compared to just pine needles? Which I think there is, and there must be, because otherwise they wouldn't need each other. They just have one. Just gonna cut off these little things here. You might be wondering what I'm doing. I watched an Arthur Haynes video the other night. I posted it, and Arthur was saying that he uses this little stick that he made with a hook on the end, and then so I have a coat hanger that I just zip tied onto the end of this stick. And then Arthur also has a little rope loop, could be a strap or something, that he puts his foot in the bottom, so when he pulls the branch down, he then puts his foot in this little loop, and that way he has hands free and he can pick these little pine tree pollen cones. So that's what I'm attempting to do. It might be a little bit long, this, but I'm thinking if the branch is pulled down and it's coming down lower, I still have plenty. And if not, well then I'll saw off a little bit off the end. So there we go with that part. And I just need a good swallow of coffee, a swig. Swig is a nice word. I don't hear that very often. I like swig. A swig of coffee, or a swig of whiskey. I always liked a cake of soap. When I was a kid, I remember first hearing that and thinking, God, cake's used for something you eat, always, in my mind. And then suddenly there's a cake of soap. I thought that kind of made soap seem tastier somehow. And when my mother would threaten to wash our mouth out with soap because we were saying words that were less than savory or something, it didn't seem as bad, the threat. I don't think we ever did actually have our mouths washed out with soap. I think it was just a threat. Or else I like the taste of soap enough that I don't remember it as a trauma. I doubt it though. This is very nice.